Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we're going to be talking about Stellar Lumens, aka XLM. So with all of that in mind, before we fully jump on into this video, I just want to ask for all those XLM holders out there, what do you believe the all-time high for XLM will be going into the next major cycle? Because I do want to know where you guys think the value of XLM is, and also for all those XLM holders out there, definitely hit that like button on this video to show your support. I do greatly appreciate it. And for those that are not subscribed to the channel yet, by the end of this video, if you guys do learn something new, maybe you found the content interesting, whatever the case may be, definitely hit that subscribe button and turn notifications on to never miss a future update. So with all that in mind, let's just dive in and let's start off with the overall price action in this market. So we are very close to achieving the $1 trillion area yet again for the overall crypto market cap. We have been focused on a lot of utility gems in this space. Mainly, I've been focused on XRP, Algorand, QNT, Hedera, and a ton of other ones. But when we look at XLM and XRP, I've been focused on them for a very long time. These are two holds of mine that I've been holding since even previous to like 2020. I mean, we have been a long-term holder of these gems because I believe in what they are focused on, right? A lot of people were asking me like, hey, do you hold XLM even though you are, very bullish on XRP? 100%. I don't believe that XLM is competing with XRP, and I don't think that XRP is competing with XLM. I think that these two are positioned for specific niche audiences around the markets that they are focused on. Again, I've always said that XLM is more so for retail and XRP is more so for like the banking scene. Now, do they both have their retail use cases and banking use cases? Sure, they do. But again, I think that there's enough food at the table for both of these tokens to eat. And when we look at XLM, I mentioned multiple times in the past that I'm looking to see if we can retest these areas from September of 2020. And guess what we did, right? We tested those levels, and now we're focused on, okay, well, where could we go in terms of price range? Which is why I asked you guys in the beginning of this video, where do you guys see XLM at the top of the next major bull cycle? So let's first address the overall price action here. So we did see that nice little area of test, which I did have, this line set up, and I was really kind of looking at it, and I was like, okay, well, let's see if we could test these September lows from 2020. We ended up testing it perfectly. RSI was oversold. It hit the oversold area the first time in a very long time. It's actually been the most oversold the RSI has been on the Coinbase price data, which is crazy. So this signaled an incredible buy opportunity back in December, and we scooped up a lot of XLM during that time frame at around like 7.5 cents. It was mainly like 7.5 cents, but we were buying more so support during that range anyways. Now, I do have the XRP chart over here. We're going to address that. We're going to talk about it as well. And let me actually throw up real quick the on balance volume, because I do want to check out the volume here as well on... Actually, I did not mean to click his name. There we go. So here we have the volume. So volume is still net negative. I would actually like to see this turn green. This is on the 5-day time frame, by the way. If we go to like the lower time frames, I'm sure that we are seeing some green. So yeah, on the 3-day span, it's a little bit of a different story. I'm sure on the 1-day span, yep, there's a lot more volume there. We're still seeing volume declining, which the problem is that like on the 5-day span, you could see why we are seeing volume declining. This is why I like the higher time frames, because it really kind of prints a little bit of a better picture for us. On the 5-day span, we are at major resistance for XLM. So I would argue that right now, instead of being a buyer for XLM, I would wait to see a clean break above this area. It's a major demand zone going all the way back to like November. So what I would love to see XLM do, and again, we've already bought. For those that didn't buy, I'd wait to see confirmation of a breakout on XLM. That breakout would be breaking back into this demand channel at 10 cents. Now, if you don't want to wait and you don't want to risk it, you could always average in. I've always said like DCENT is key for this market. But I'm waiting to see if we break out of this EMA at roughly 9 cents. It's that green line there, which again we fought on the last 5-day candle. And if we could break out of that, then we would be targeting 10 cents. And once we get into this demand channel, it's okay, yeah, we're going to build support here. We're going to target the next EMA, which the next one would be at about like 11.5 cents. And then we kind of start to break out, and we really kind of address the overall market structure at that point for like Bitcoin and the rest of the altcoin market. Now, why do I have XRP over here? Well, XRP and XLM, like I said in the beginning of this video, I don't look at them as competitors. In fact, they're both very, very similar in terms of price data. Now, a lot of people ask me all the time, why do XLM and XRP move closely together? I argue that it's most likely because XLM at one point in time was a fork of XRP. Anybody that, I mean, it could be a coincidence as well on why they move very closely together. Anybody is, like any guess that anybody has is very similar to what I have. Like I'm just speculating on why I believe that XLM and XRP move closely together just because XLM at one point in time was a fork. But again, your guess is as good as mine. But when we look at XRP, they do follow very similar structures. I mean, XRP topped out back in April. XLM topped out a little bit later. It actually was in May. But we do still see very similar price data here. They both crashed at the same exact time, basically bottomed at the same exact time, had that nice little movement, same exact time, topped on the same exact candlestick here on the 5-day span, and yet again, very, very similar. Now, the only difference here is that instead of XRP making a lower low here, like XLM did, it kind of stayed within its support zone, which is totally fine. In fact, we welcome lower price action anyways on assets like XLM. And we'll talk about why here in a second. But on XRP, we are also fighting very strong resistance, very similar to XLM. Instead of an EMA, though, it is a fib level, and that fib level is about 382 at about almost 41 cents. Very similar data in terms of on-balance volume. They're both net negative on the higher time frames. On the lower time frames, yes, we would be net green, aka we have volume flowing. But we need a lot more volume to push above these resistance areas because these are very, very strong resistance zones. As the market is kind of bouncing back and we see a little bit of a rebound in the market, a lot of people call them for the next bull run to be starting, then yes, we will most likely see a breakout on both of these charts and we'll see some higher time frame zones being targeted, aka we're going to be seeing those zones of the previous run up in October being targeted, and then from there we really kind of target just fib levels and the next EMAs that will be printed on the higher time frames, like on the weekly and the monthly, etc. So as we look at the lower price action, why do I welcome it? Well, this is the macro fib base levels that we're going off of here, where we do have like higher price action, but this is on the remember, like this is on the bottoming structure. I was looking at where we would bottom out on XLM. My guess was about the 702. We went slightly past the 702, which is totally fine. If you wanted to look at this on the non-log scale based fib levels, this is a little bit of a different story, but I like to use the log scale just for those levels of interest. Now, going off of fib levels from our bottoming structure, because I do believe that XLM is most likely bottomed out. If not, then we would look for a break of this level down here, and we would actually target the next level of demand, which would most likely be at around like 5.5 cents. But nonetheless, I do believe that we most likely bottomed out on XLM. And where am I targeting in the next major run up? Well, first off, we need to break out of the high up here, which is like 80 cents. I would argue that we need to create a new all-time high, which is at 94 cents back here. And yes, we could technically go off of that high back here as well. And we could look at breaking out of the 786, which was at 76 cents, which was right around the same level that we topped out on in May. Now, why do I think that XLM could go much higher? Well, we are anticipating XRP getting out of this lawsuit and having the free reign over the market, meaning that XRP will most likely hit an all-time high yet again, and XLM will be targeting a new all-time high as well. These are two tokens that have not hit an all-time high since 2017, 2018. So in my opinion, we have a little bit of a pressure cooker situation where we are just anticipating a new all-time high, and if we do see it, then FOMO would be pretty large. Now, with XLM, I'm more so looking at conservative base levels, but if you didn't want to be conservative, then you would be targeting the 4618 at about roughly $4 and like $4.13 or so. But anyways, this would be roughly around like a 58x opportunity. I can't get it perfectly on this, but it would be like $4.13. There we go, at about a 57x opportunity run. Now, could we go higher? Could we go to like the Fib 8 level? Yeah, this would be the last Fib extension. This would be about almost a 100x opportunity run perfectly. Now, do I think that XLM is going to go this high? Not necessarily. Remember, the last Fib extension, we don't really see it that often. We've seen it before on tokens like Luna, but I'm not expecting this to happen this run up. Again, I would love to be wrong on this. Remember, XLM does have a lot less token supply than, we'll say, like XRP, but again, do I think that it has enough or a low supply enough to be hitting like $7 plus? Not necessarily. That's why I really kind of look at the $4 range. I think that $4 is a great area of support, as well as more so we focus on that $4 range. You know, just to go off of like market cap wise alone, it would be like a $105 billion market cap. I could see it hitting that, if, again, FOMO does allow it. Now, if you wanted to be more conservative and you didn't want to focus on, you know, going crazy in those moon boy targets, then we would be targeting more so the lower levels, the $1.50 zone. This would be about a 20x. So when we look at like the $1.50 zone, the reason why I think that this is more so targetable and feasible is that the market cap would be about $40 billion. Very similar to like XRP, right? We looked at the XRP Fib extensions. Most people are targeting like the $10 plus range, which is totally fine, right? Because we look at like the 1272 on the log scale. When we go off of the non-log scale based targets, then we are looking at a little bit of a different story here. A lot of people were targeting like the $10 to $15 range, which is my targets on XRP. But again, my targets are completely different than what most people anticipate. It is totally fine on where you believe, you know, things could go. If we're looking at just a 1618, then we would be looking at about roughly $5.28, an upside of about 17x. But again, could these tokens go much higher? Yes. It all also depends on where where crypto goes in terms of market cap. This is where we really kind of address, okay, well, what is, you know, X amount of coins market dominance? Because market dominance will be key in anticipating and also estimating where a token could go. I always like to go back in time at like the historical snapshots and really kind of look at where some of these tokens have gone. XRP's market dominance has been around roughly like the 4 or 5% zone on the all-time highs. I don't know if we can see, so let me just check real quick. I don't know how much price data is here, so it looks like there's quite a bit actually now that I see it. So back in 2018, you know, XLM did have a market dominance of about 3%. Since then, we really haven't gone that high, and going off of the all-time high here the high that we recently have back in 2021, it's been about like 0.8%. And if we're targeting, say for so, a $10 trillion market cap for all of crypto, then we would be looking at, and I've always addressed this many times on this channel, when we look at like a point, like we're targeting like a 0.8%, then we would be targeting about an $80 billion market cap. Now, at an $80 billion market cap, remember what I've said, this is where I always target like conservative ranges. Now, an $80 billion market cap wouldn't necessarily be fully conservative, but it would be right around the same range that most people are most likely looking at, which would be about $3.05, an upside of about 42x or almost 3x in terms of that run. Now, could I see this happening? Yeah, 100%. Again, $80 billion in market cap is totally fine with me. That would be right around the 0.8% range that we've seen back in 2021. Again, that is feasible. This is a feasible run for XLM. I think that a 42x opportunity run is incredible, by the way, for those out there that are anticipating a 100x opportunity. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. You guys know me. I'm very transparent. The top 100 most of the top 100, and I wouldn't even say like the top 100 because there is some tokens down here after like the top 50 that could possibly do like a 100x opportunity run. But once you kind of get into these top tier tokens, like the blue chip tokens that are most likely going to be giving you, some sort of ROI that's pretty good, like well beyond like the 10x opportunity run, some of these are a little bit less of a mover advantage because guess what? In order for them to achieve like a 100x opportunity run, the market cap would have to be severely higher than what most of these tokens will actually do. Like for example, for XLM to hit like a 100x opportunity run, it would have to hit like a $9 price, and that market cap is like $236 billion. Now, a lot of people will argue and say, Nick, why do you even care about market cap? The reason why I care about market cap is because in the short term, are we going to see, XLM hit a $236 billion market cap? Probably not. And the only reason why I say that is because there's going to only be so much money trickling down, and is XLM going to grasp a large portion of that, that market value? Probably not. Just because, again, there's not a ton of hype behind it. There's not a lot going on just yet in terms of utility. So again, when we look at XLM, and even when we look at XRP as well, are they going to hit these astronomical highs? It's questionable, right? It's probably not going to happen, and that's not me being negative or anything like that. I'm just saying that when we address the overall market dominance of some of these tokens, I really kind of question on if we could go to like X amount of dollars because, again, only so much money will trickle down. So please just be aware of that. Again, to me personally, I think that we could see anywhere between like the $3 range, even like $2 would be fine with me. But we could probably see, this last 4618 fib extension being hit, which would still be about a 60x opportunity run. I am totally fine with that. And also when we talk about XRP and we talk about like XRP going to like $10 plus, the reason why I think that XRP could go to $10 is because there is still a lot of catalyst behind XRP that could push it to those highs. For example, the lawsuit is a great one. On-demand liquidity adoption is an also incredible catalyst behind it. Now, if we do see that, again, XLM usually runs with XRP. If XRP does hit a $10 range, then we could see XLM go slightly higher than the $4 range, but it all depends on the overall market circumstances. Again, I'm always conservative with a lot of my price predictions. When we look at XLM, again, I'm probably targeting a little bit more of a conservative base level, which is like why I say like the $1.50 zone to about $3 is a great area, in my opinion, to target going into the next major run, especially if we are talking about like a $10 trillion market cap opportunity for the global crypto market cap. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys have more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. So it's up to you all. Have a beautiful day, beautiful night, wherever you guys are on this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.